Not really.
Yeah.
When you're, as many people know in college, you're kind of, you're, nothing harms you.
Right.
And so I wasn't gonna let it kind of harm me and take me out of what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't. And I think something cool that happened at the end of my freshman year. I went on this kind of expedition with Insulin Independence. We went with a group of type 1 diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to Montana and canoed down the Missouri River.
Oh wow.
And I just started doing all these things that with diabetes that I wouldn't have done without
Mm-hmm.
diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And those things really just kind of reinforce that I can do anything I want to, as long as I have my juice with me if I need it, and I plan for it. There should be no problems.
Absolutely. Now, did anybody ever approach you in your did anybody in your family ever have diabetes prior to you getting diagnosed?
Yeah, my dad is a type 1 diabetic, and he was diagnosed later in life, kind of
Okay.
like I was. And then I have a cousin in Ohio that has diabetes, and now my older brother has diabetes.
Oh,
and so we're just
wow.
kind of this tight-knit diabetic family. But really, probably one of the most important figures was my dad.
Yeah.
Because when we were kids, he would tell us, obviously, because he had it, he was worried that we one day might have it,
Yeah.
or get it when we were kids. So he would always be like, if you, are going to the bathroom a lot, if you're drinking a lot of water, just come talk to us. And I remember when I was sick at school, I called him probably on the 2nd of January or something, and I said, Dad, first off, don't tell Mom, but this is what's going on. And he said to me, it sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You can handle it. And when we were growing up, I always saw my dad out riding his bike, 20, 30 miles a night. He'd always be taking us out sailing, and so the things that he did, diabetes didn't hold him back either.
Good.
And so that he was an important role model, especially those first few years that I had it, because it was never, oh, Dad can't do that because he's got diabetes. Dad was doing it anyway, so I just didn't let it hold him back. So
That's great.
it's pretty cool.
Really great. Do you think there's any misconceptions that you feel that you've got a tight-knit group of support,
Mhm.
right? Do you think there's people out there that have a lot of misconceptions that you're like, you just want to squash them in the face and be like,
Yes, I do, and I don't even know where it comes from, but well, for one of them at least. But this, this is I'm rocking my insulin pump.
Oh, yeah.
Rock it nonstop. Don't ever hide it.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of times people ask me if this is a pager, and sometimes I just want to be like, how many pagers do you know connect to someone's body? But it's an insulin pump, not a pager. And the other thing is, just that I think the most common misconception for people that don't know or don't, diabetes isn't in their life is the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Because a lot of times, I'll be talking to an adult or someone else my age, and they'll be like, I'll be like, oh man, my blood sugar is 250 or something, and then they'll go like, well, do you need some juice or something, or what's with that? And it's just all that stuff, that is there's this big common misconception that insulin lowers your blood sugar,
Right.
juice raises your blood sugar. You don't want to have high blood sugar, or nobody knows what's a good blood sugar.
So is there a range that you're always shooting for that might be a good or a bad number?
I have 3 excellent numbers that I like to shoot for.
Yeah.
And of course, having diabetes, I know that your body is always in a different place, it seems like, and so is it always the correct amount of insulin? I try to make it that way. It doesn't always work out that way because sometimes I don't take enough, sometimes I take too much. So I guess when I check my blood sugar, it's really at that moment it's just it's a number.
Okay.
And obviously I want that number lower, but I think one blood sugar that all diabetics like is when you test that blood sugar and it's a perfect 100.
Yeah.
That is the best one. My other favorite one is when I test and it's 123, or 123. And then my third and final favorite is when I was a kid. In high school and everything, my favorite band was Blink 182, and so occasionally I feel good when and it was out on a run one day, and I was listening to a Blink album, and I got back and I checked my blood sugar, and my blood sugar was 182, and I was like, yes. It was just,
awesome.
it like made my day. It was really fun. It was
That's
cool.
awesome. Andrew, thank you so much for sharing all your fun stories, and I wish you all the best of luck in all your athletic endeavors.
Thank you, Sarah.